You have a common misconception: you're trying too hard to spin the ball against topspin. By lifting and brushing upward too much when you loop, your arc gets too high, causing the ball to fly long when you power up. Today, we're going to teach the forehand topspin loop. True consistency means being able to loop 7 or 8 forehands in a row. Let me demonstrate. Watch for the difference between us. Let's analyze your technique. Your biggest problem is that your arm is working independently of your body. You need to initiate with your body rotation. Your arm should sync with that movement. Don't worry about making the shot for now, focus on the mechanics. See how my body drives my arm? Players, if you often feel jammed by the ball, it's because you're not using your body rotation. Your backswing is too early and separate, so when you rotate your body, your timing is off. Keep your racket in your ready position. Your backswing should be part of your body turn. Don't swing like that, or your shots will float after 2 hits. Keep your hand in front, and then execute the backswing as you rotate. Let your body protect your arm's position. Don't let the arm swing on its own. Second, you need to drop your shoulder. Get your shoulder down. The key is not to drop both shoulders, but to drop your right, hitting, shoulder. Think of it like a tumbler toy, allowing you to return to a level position. Anchor your legs in your stance. Don't move up and down. That unnecessary movement makes your form look disconnected. Right now, this is what your loop looks like to me. Avoid that vertical movement. Your form will collapse after a couple of shots. First, establish a solid base with your legs. This is your foundation. Your lower body must be stable when looping. Once stable, you can rotate your hips, but your legs shouldn't bounce up and down. Because you're moving up and down, a faster ball will jam you. There's too much wasted motion. For topspin rallies, you don't need to generate power by pushing up with your legs. Just keep them anchored. Second, focus on hip rotation. Anchor your legs and rotate your hips. Keep your upper body, your chest, pressed slightly forward. Okay, point your chest towards me. Hold that posture and don't sway. Keep your chest facing me. See how your consistency has improved? Yes, I can hit many more in a row now. Much more consistent. Anchor your legs and keep your chest facing me, not the ceiling, but your opponent. Now, how do you achieve coordination? Your current forehand loop is a half-body motion. Your non-hitting arm isn't rotating with you. Let your left arm rotate with you. Don't just rotate horizontally, but in a down and forward motion. Watch my left hand. Rotating like this makes the entire motion coordinated. Your current movement looks like this. That's a perfect imitation, coach. The forehand topspin loop is not an easy shot. Being able to rally multiple shots consecutively is already a great achievement. Rotate the shoulders, rotate. Once you incorporate shoulder rotation, it gets much better. Otherwise, you're just looping with half your body, which is a very common amateur mistake. This is a frequent error we see when players start to loop. Rotate your shoulders, and the whole movement becomes much more coordinated. Let's break down the key body checkpoints. First, anchor your legs to stabilize your center of gravity. Don't sway side to side or up and down. Second, use your hips and waist to rotate and drive forward into the ball. Don't rely on just your upper body and arm. Third, don't have an upright posture when looping. Keep your center of gravity forward, maintaining a C shape with your body. Avoid looping while sticking your stomach out. Fourth is shoulder position. In the ready position, your left shoulder is forward. After contact, they are parallel. This sequence ensures coordination. You used to have your right shoulder forward. So, the standard is stable legs, hip rotation, forward lean, and shoulder rotation. If you can master these points, your stroke will become semi-coordinated. As you get smoother, it will become fully coordinated. Let me demonstrate a few, and I want you to watch for these key points. Are my legs low and stable? Are my hips and shoulders rotating? Is my upper body leaning forward? Is my right shoulder dropped? When your center of gravity is low and your arm follows an outer arc, the shot will be solid. How much power was I using just then? About 30% to 40%. When you're practicing loops in a rally, don't use full power. Even a professional will make errors at 100% power. For amateur players, before your technique and structure are stable, you should use 30 to 40% power to establish a solid fundamental swing. This helps you find the right rhythm and contact point, and keeps your form from breaking down. This is the #1 key to practice. Now, let's focus on the arm and hand. For a topspin loop, the amount of brushing isn't actually that much. The primary force is directed from back to front. So you might ask, why does my hand drop down then? Watch closely. My backswing is low. But by the time I make contact with the ball, my racket is already up. So the main direction of force is forward. You have a common misconception: you're trying too hard to spin the ball against topspin. As a result, when you loop, you are lifting and brushing upwards. The trajectory of your topspin loop is always arcing high. A high arc isn't the problem. The problem is trying to add power with that same high arcing swing. The arc is too high, and the ball will definitely go out. You are creating too much lift. So, the solution is to change your mindset. You must feel like you are brushing over the top of the ball. Let me show you in slow motion. Watch this loop. Whether I'm far from the table or close to it, notice how I'm always brushing over the ball. Notice how the path is not going upwards? This is the most critical point. Don't be afraid of hitting the net, because you are still generating spin. Even with this much forward drive, I can still land the ball on the table. Don't try to lift the ball just to get it over the net. That turns your loop into a push. Losing power on topspin and not getting enough friction against backspin is the key reason why our loops lack threat. So for topspin balls, whether you're close to the table for a quick loop, or at mid-distance for a standard loop, watch my hand. Everyone. Only with this technique can I choose to either generate power or just safely return the ball during a topspin rally. Otherwise, when you try to add power, the ball will always float long. Many amateur players start with a closed racket angle, but after contact, their arm motion opens up like this. Then it ends up going upwards. When the arm gets into this position, the bottom part of your forearm will naturally push forward. This leads to a loop that looks like this. This mistake is very common, especially against backspin. You often do this when you loop. When you try to add power, you tend to hit it long. You need to have this concept: during the backswing, my racket face must be closed. In my demonstration, I wasn't even using any finger or wrist action, my wrist was basically locked. I'm just brushing over the ball with a closed racket, and that alone generates spin. Third, after you finish the stroke, the bottom of your forearm should still be facing the table. This technique ensures that you can still land the ball even when you're hitting with power. So, at the point of contact, the bottom of your forearm should not be facing your opponent. This applies to both penhold and shakehand grips. You must keep it closed over the ball. For every single shot, your forearm should face the table. This is how you cover the ball in a loop. Watch the direction of my forearm closely as I demonstrate a proper loop. See how the ball is covered? This is actually the same for backspin loops. To generate power and still land the shot, this is one of the key points. The third key point for your arm technique: for a good loop, you need a stable pivot. Your elbow is that pivot. So, why are our loops inconsistent? Look at the elbow here. In table tennis, the swing path should always be an outer arc, especially when adding spin. Many people struggle with looping backspin because their stroke is just a bigger version of a drive, pushing up or forward. So, while swinging on that outer arc, I need to keep my elbow stable as a pivot. Watch my elbow: stable pivot. For a drive, stable pivot. For a loop, stable pivot. See how much more stable and smooth that is? Starting from backspin, keep it stable. The arc is much better. Now drive it. Loop it. And add power. For a consistent forehand, you must stabilize your elbow. Isn't every contact point perfectly supported? For every stroke, drives, looping against topspin, and looping against backspin. By keeping that elbow stable, your shot's trajectory will be much more consistent. Go and try it. Many of your errors are genuinely caused by an unstable elbow, which messes up your forehand's trajectory. For example, on a short topspin ball. We tend to do this. Even when stepping in, you must maintain that swing arc. Keep the elbow stable. When you're jammed, you must still maintain that arc. Against heavy backspin or a deep chop, you still need to keep the elbow stable. On a short, semi-high ball, don't just slap at it. Look at this position and keep the elbow stable. On short balls, don't push. When jammed, don't lift. On high balls, don't slap. Your game will improve instantly. What does keep it stable mean? It means your elbow shouldn't move around or chicken wing when you loop. Don't tuck it in or lift it up. It should stay out to your side, like in a standard forehand drive. Even with a larger backswing, my elbow remains stable as a pivot, it's not wandering.